In my last video, many of you, and I mean many of you, made a point to let me know that the Night King and the Night's King are actually two distinct characters. But even going and Googling the Night's King brings up images for me of everybody's favorite icy Darth Maul lookalike. So, with all this confusion going around, there is only one thing for me to do. But it's not to argue with you, it's to talk about it. What's up, YouTube? My name is Justin. This is the Den of Nerds. And today we are going to be talking about the distinction between the Night King and the Night's King. We're going to go ahead, quickly delve into these two characters, go and look at their backstories, look at who they are in this universe, and really just go ahead, set them apart, set the record straight. Now, before I get into this, I am giving you the obligatory spoiler warning. Yes, there will be spoilers for the show, and there will be spoilers for parts of the books in this conversation as well. So, if you don't want to risk any of those right now, go ahead, leave us for a second, take a peek at those in your own free time, and come back to us for the rest of the video later. Okay, let's go ahead and get right into it. So, let's start off. Who is the Night King? Well, we all know who the Night King is. We've all seen him. He is the leader of the White Walkers. He is quite possibly the first White Walker. And much to our dismay, he is Westerosi Javelin Champion 2017. This guy has the power to raise armies of the dead as whites. He has powers that likely include what the other White Walkers have. Superior strength, the ability to shatter weapons, and the ability to cause fire to sputter out thanks to the extreme cold he radiates. In addition to these abilities, he can also mark people with a magic that allows him to pursue them through magical barriers and know where they are, completely irregardless of distance. And he is also able to detect wargs. As an antagonist, he is fairly invincible. He steals absolutely every single scene he shows up in, and I honestly can't think of a scenario that ends with his defeat. He's just that powerful, and I'm really worried about our heroes because of him. But with the Night King set up now, that leaves this question. Who is the Night's King, and why does that apostrophe S matter? Well, as a lot of you said before, the Night's King is a completely different character. He was originally featured on the Season 2 Blu-ray featurette, The Histories and Lore, The History of the Night's Watch, in terms of the show anyways. He was also mentioned in the books A Storm of Swords and A Feast for Crows. He was the 13th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and he existed around 8,000 years before the beginning of Game of Thrones. Legend has it that when traveling through the Haunted Forest, the 13th Lord Commander found a cold woman with bright blue eyes, which to us we know is likely a White Walker. He said he loved her, even though, quote-unquote, her skin was cold as ice, and it said that when he gave her his seed, yes, you heard that right, he gave her his soul as well. He brought her to the Night Fort, and declared himself the Night's King, ruling over the Night's Watch through a combination of fear and sorcery for 13 long, miserable years. During that time, he also sacrificed many of his brothers of the Night's Watch to the White Walkers. Unfortunately for him, but fortunately for everyone else, his rule came to an abrupt end when he and his queen were destroyed by the combined forces of Jorah Mormont, the King Beyond the Wall, and Brandon Stark, known as Bran the Breaker, the king in the north at that time. After the defeat of the Night's King, a rule was created that the Night's Watch could never fortify its castles from the south to prevent such a situation from ever happening again. And Brandon Stark, Bran the Breaker, then tirelessly worked to completely obliterate his name from memory and history. Some say that this was done out of shame, because the Night's King was actually his brother. But I don't know if we'll ever know that for sure. And I guess that settles that then. I hope I ended up clearing things up. I learned a lot from this video, and from making it. Did you? If you like this video, please go ahead and leave a like below. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Thrones stuff. And we also have video games and Star Wars and comics. Tons of content for you to get in and dig into and maybe find some stuff to watch. And finally, let me know in the comment section below if you'd like to see one of the rumored Game of Thrones prequel series in production to be this battle between the Night's King and Bran the Breaker. I honestly think it'd be pretty cool. As always, this is Justin here at the Den of Nerds. I hope you're all having an awesome and nerdy day, and I'll catch you later.